passion.
You've got to show love now. Oozing out from between his fingers.
Right director.
Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing this.
That's BAFTA winning.
BAFTA-winning direction, Oscar-winning script. Teachers have a one-day opportunity to transform Shakespeare into their own prize-winning films. They're responding to a challenge set by the BBC. Kingston-on-Hull in Humberside, and John Robson is on his way to the BBC. He's part of the team running a teacher's training day for the 60-second Shakespeare project. The challenge the BBC have set is to choose a play from Shakespeare's extraordinary canon and produce a one-minute version. Winning entries will be posted on the web for all to see.
The 63 pictures there for this 60-second short film.
Today, teachers will be learning to use free downloaded software to create their own short photo story. They're raring to go.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks very much for coming this morning. The purpose of today is...
Genevieve Swift and Jason Maher are the other two tutors on this one-day workshop.
So, as a group now, you need to decide for yourselves what are the key themes for you. What is the message, basically, that you want to get across?
The teachers will be working in two groups. One will be focusing on Romeo and Juliet, and the other on Macbeth.
Scene after the murder. We know the scene we want to look at, but we're just in the middle of deciding which is the foremost theme. But we're certainly thinking about ambition.
Ambition, right?
And temptation.
Okay.
We want to try and do the love, the tragedy and the conflict, you know, with the parents.
Okay.
We're not going to tell the actual story from start to finish of a particular play. That's the first thing. There's just no way you can do that in 60 seconds.
Whatever format you choose to use, whether it's a straight retelling, an analogous situation, or a montage of images and a more abstract version, you will always need to have a plot.
Macbeth is ambitious to win the X Factor and gets through the auditions, and then Sharon, as Lady Macbeth, becomes kind of a puppet master controlling this protégé, and they decide that the only way to find success is to kill Simon Cowell. So they sing him to death and blow his eardrums out and his brains explode. So they find success, get a record contract, but then Sharon withdraws. And the protégé is left to stand alone and, like a puppet, having its strings cut, find that the career becomes a bit of a flop in the long run. So, how we're going to visualise that?
That's our next stage. Yeah, how we're going to visualise that.
I've got a background in literacy and in ICT, and this is a good way of bringing the two together.
A crossover project like this would be very, very useful, so they could film a little bit of Shakespeare, which they could then submit to the board for language and for media studies as well.
The easiest way to look at it is look at having 3 storyboard sheets of 6 frames each as your beginning, middle and end. It's just as simple as that. And
Jason explains a storyboarding technique to help both groups structure their ideas.
You can write them. These are kind of, you can screw these up and throw them away if you decide the idea isn't very good. It's as easy as that. So don't worry at this stage of filtering any ideas at all. Even something completely mad, just put it down.
Yeah, we'll do it there. And then the plot develops to kill Simon. Yeah, kill Simon.
In their version, an ambitious contestant represents Macbeth, and Duncan is represented by Simon Cowell. The contestant is tempted to kill Simon because his critical comments are threatening his success.
He could maybe, that's where we could maybe put the Temptation song.
Yeah,
him singing Temptation.
So Simon's going to introduce the temptation element.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be temptation as a result of what Simon says?
Yeah,
so you need a song before that. So you need a song before that, don't you?
But he could be warning against the theme of temptation then.
Why do we want to kill Simon? Because Simon holds the power. So Simon's given the negative feedback, so we want to kill Simon. Yeah. Okay. What we need is the bit where Macbeth, the aspiring star, has that moment of guilt. Are you sure we really ought to
be doing this?
We should be killing Simon.
He's saying, actually, I think this is.
I think
this is too big for me.
I think what Simon says has got some truth in it, because it is perhaps too big a song for me.
Yeah.
Because that's what Macbeth says.
Yeah.
He says, I shouldn't kill Duncan, actually, because he was a good king.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, John is with the other group, helping find a motivation for their plot.
I think that's the most important theme, isn't it, Romeo and Juliet, that they come from two separate backgrounds, two separate situations.
Where you see them with the family and how different they are, but that's going to be
Don't
difficult.
forget, it's just us.
He's still in West still.
He's still on West still, yeah.
How will we show them?
Rovers and all.
Well, yeah, actually, I should have brought some rovers and ball shirts. That'd be fantastic. I have to look out for somebody that's got the scarf. Can we borrow your scarf?
Well, we've got the rugby tavern over there. We could meet in there.
And the song's going to be I'm Going to Blow Your Mind, right? Yeah? New song. I'm going to blow your mind.
How are you going to film that?
Don't know yet. Have we got...
Again, be aware of the information and the constraints that you've got. Because this is the sort of stuff you're going to come up with the students saying, oh, I really want to do this. Great, do it, but how are you going to do it?
Can't we actually get some stuff and have stuff oozing out from between his fingers?
Ooh, yeah, I'm sure we can.
Blowing his brains out.
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, even just as basic as a...
Some bright red handkerchief. Just physically dribbling out.
I'm hoping it'll help to appeal to all the kids, all the Year 9 pupils, because a lot of them do find it difficult to access Shakespeare at the moment. So I think this will be really useful for them. But I think it'd be good for all abilities.
When we actually go through the Romeo and Juliet idea at school, I always give them a quick brief, go through the story. And I just, describe it as in their reality. You meet a kid, but you don't get on with his dad, and his dad's kicking off, and your mum's kicking off because they don't like the family, and they kind of get it. Then you've got to put it in their language, haven't you? Really, especially for the lower ability. I think the Shakespeare frightens them.
This way, hopefully, it works.
Yeah.
So, would it be maybe a good idea for the groups just to exchange the concept and idea of what they're doing, just so each group knows what they're doing, just to discuss your storyline a little bit?
Both groups have decided on a setting, their characters and plot. John now gives them a brief opportunity to feed back to each other before taking to the road with their cameras.
We're doing Romeo and Juliet. We're basing it around the pub. That's our main sort of setting. The boy sees the girl drop a necklace. He then tries to find her via putting a text into the Hull Daily Mail. They meet up in the pub with the separate families, realise they hate each other. There's a brawl, Mercutio gets killed. We run out of the pub, screeching noises, car crash, get run over, a death.
Yeah. Hand in hand, really happy. Dead.
We'll use our storyboards as like our map of our images, what we need to go out and get. Okay? Now, I think this one's pretty straightforward. It's that one that I'm not concerned about, but we just need to maybe have a little bit of creative input on that to make it look realistic.
The challenge for the Macbeth team is to find a way of portraying Simon Cowell's demise, his exploding head, effectively.
If we've got like something you could squish, and you could actually do it like a grapefruit or a melon or something, or a
Yes, that's good. Hit a melon with a hammer. Orange.
Or an orange, yeah. Orange with a hammer would be quite effective.
Tomato.
Tomato, even better.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
We'll get a tomato.
Yeah, I like that.
We're getting into kind of like proper film stuff. We talk about Eisenstein films and things, and montage and juxtaposition.
So should your establishing beginning shots be looking at that initial meeting, then they go their own way, and one writes a classified advert and one reads it in the newspaper, and then they come back together again?
The message says, saw you Saturday, Queen's Gardens, love you, meet at. And it's the person that, who's reading it who is then anxiously waiting to see who they're going to meet. And then when they see them,
and
it's so wonderful.
So probably the next stage then is to shoot these photographs. I've brought 2 digital cameras with me. One's like a really small, straightforward, point and click
got to show love. Woo! Exuberant. Chris, take your pen out from behind your ear. And then passion.
1, 2, 3.
Right, director.
I think we're all...
Back inside, and all their wonderful images have been imported into software called Photo Story 3. So now they're all set to start editing.
My experience of using this software in schools with young people, they really get excited about seeing their own images, their own stories, work that they've constructed using this software. They get a real proudness of what they've achieved. So it's your job now to sequence them and get them in the right order as they appear in the film.
Yeah. Excellent. We can do that.
Right, so
And if there's ones on here we don't want
Just
to...
that first one, so you just press delete.
Simple as that. Okay.
That one.
Right.
Because we've taken a lot of the paper. That one, and that one. That one, yeah.
You only know one of those.
I think that we should leave them on for quite long because we'll need to do a little snippet of music, won't we?
Yeah.
And it's just like a corny insert of music, and then we can continue with Love is a Many Splendid Thing.
Oh, it's automatically set to 5, right.
I'm just wondering whether or not each time we bring the tomato in, we make it bigger.
Bigger. I like that. So it builds to the...
Yeah, to the squish.
Squidge.
So if you frame it so that you've got your tomato right in the middle, and then set the end one to be the same.
Right.
Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing this.
Right.
Right.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, that's excellent, that one.
Excellent.
Now all that's left to do is record and lay an audio track, and maybe add some music.
We're just going to use a really simple £20 microphone from somewhere like Jessop's. That's gone into the microphone socket in the back of the laptop.
You're going to be great.
Let us make fair exchange.
You're going to be big.
At the Rugby Tavern.
You're going to be a superstar.
I have your heart. That's BAFTA winning.
I think the teachers had a really good day. They actually enjoyed themselves. They enjoyed doing the workshop. They enjoyed using the software. And they enjoyed singing and having a laugh.
And they also enjoyed having a finished product to take away with them. But first, a preview. Romeo and Juliet as never seen before.
I have your heart. I would that you had mine. Let us make fair exchange at the Rugby Tavern.